of any type of like, I guess, featured films from China, and whether it be you watched it on Sundays, Saturdays, at nighttime, wherever, everybody does have like a weird shared experience with it. And I really liked what the 90s birthed out of it, because holy shit, Dimensions
Fight Night Fridays.
Oh my god, they just started fucking like Jackie Chan. I
know you caught that, dude.
Yeah, I did. Holy shit.
That was an actual thing.
Bastard.
Fight Night Fridays.
You old ass bastard. You're like
I have gray hairs coming out of my head now. Still, there's a kung fu grip on black men that have to have like a martial arts sword on their fucking vanity and shit, like the Kadachi and the sword on top.
Man, I will say this.
I swear to you, what is with I don't get it.
You born between 66 and 84 and make me sick. You're not Storm Shadow. You're not Snake Eyes, nigga. Stop.
I have a Storm Shadow. I have a Storm Shadow sword too.
I'm about to say, Chris, you got a Storm Shadow sword.
No, but
Chris, you have it eloquently.
Yeah, I like G.I. Joe.
No, Chris, these niggas will have it in glass.
That's the thing. I don't have any glass. It's just sitting in the fucking corner collecting dust.
Or Chris, the Eris has now. Eris has to say now. Eris can get away with this shit. Why? He been in Japan. He fucking.
No. But here's the thing.
He is integrated with those people. And he is. As you said, there were different covers to the movies and such, right? So this is Just America, y'all. This is the first one. All right, as you see, that never fucking happened.
Well, okay, wait, hold on. That the image at the bottom, that does actually happen. Different camera angle, but yes, that happened.
Okay, this one.
Who gave you last year?
Well, I'm sorry.
What the hell?
That was Chris.
No. Sorry.
That was Chris. Mute your shit, nigga.
All right, my bad. Shit popped up.
This cover.
This shit that. A part of me wants to say that's not even Jackie.
This is false advertisement. This is too back to.
I never seen the prison. Did the prison look like that?
No, it did not.
Oh God, you gotta love these bad covers.
Dude, that's from fucking Snake and the Eagle Shadow.
Okay, the body is, the face isn't, and the hair for damn sure isn't.
Because bear in mind, Jackie Chan. Look, I'm gonna say this right now.
Jackie wasn't even shirtless in this movie.
I'm gonna be real. Jackie Chan in this movie, Out on the Fire. I love 70s hair, long flowing hair. Jackie Chan. That's just my preference.
Oh, okay, Jackie with the locks.
Yeah, the locks.
Hey guys, look beside my face. Who are any of these images?
Okay, first of all, just so you know, they pretty much are all Jackie. For the most part, because this is supposed to be like, even though it says special collector's edition, Hong Kong, yada yada. First of all, hold on, wait. Just realize something. That image just below Drunken Master Jackie Chan is actually Jet Li from Hitman.
So we have Drunken Master Jackie Chan.
This one, now did this happen in the movie? Somebody actually took point at, and this is the one that everybody.
This is the most common one.
I feel that they use this for Shinjuku incident, except insert gun of Jackie Chan pointing at somebody. Yes.
It feels like it, doesn't it? What happens? The commissioner's like, we gotta find out what's going on in that prison. God damn it.
I'm this close to cracking the case, but I need you to go into that prison and find out.
It's always, why is it always they're this close? Why can't it just be this close?
Because we need hard evidence, CJ. That's the reason.
That means you're not fucking close if you need fucking evidence.
No. They
let's
got
explain this.
everything, but we need them caught in red-handed.
Hey, Chris.
We got all the evidence. We just need the confession.
Chris, look at the dossier. Look at the dossier. Pick the dossier up.
Stop looking at. Stop using my word, D.
I swear, I looked at the commission. No,
Look at the bottom of the dossier.
yeah, because
That's assault. That's 2 years. Are you sure? Don't worry.
Here's me. Figured out to investigate the prison is inside.
All right. Now you do realize there's going to be at least a 2-month trial, and this is China. This is China. You go to jail tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much. You go to jail tomorrow, and and for his crime to get in the prison, he's pretty much got 2 years to crack what's going on.
I got to be real with you. 2 years for assault, I eat it. Say nah. You see that prison? Don't eat me alive. The only nigga there. Anyway.
Don't do that.
Oh, and the caveat is, well, what are you gonna tell your wife? I just tell her I'm going undercover. Don't even tell her you're going to prison undercover. You just say you're going undercover. She'll understand.
She'll understand.
Like I'm undercover. She doesn't need to know.
Manly men.
You need to get black people to dub this shit. It's more entertaining that way.
I don't know if I could trust us as black people to do it.
Why you just said us?
The reason why
That sounds so like elitist black. I don't trust us to dub.
because I tried to save my girlfriend's life. Okay, your brother and all of the freaking extras from Rise to Honor decide to fight me in this club, right?
Thank you for that, Eris. That was I would have said stranglehold, but thank you.
No. Stranglehold was kung fu. There's no hand to hand.
I'm saying Rise to Honor.
This is what Three Black Geeks are smart. We are fully faceted and know different movies and video games and different genres of kung fu. Where we can make jokes like this.
Let me win my money back. No, motherfucker, you're gonna hold this L for the rest of your life. I don't do rematches. Get the fuck out of my face.
You know what, Eris? I know.
All right, we're gonna get started with our next guest interview. Go ahead with the next question from the audience.
Go ahead.
Congrats on your engagement, by the way.
Thank you.
So, reading her in the manga, I knew she was going to be a fan favorite when she was animated, but were you surprised at all at just the instant love that came with voicing Mirko?
Absolutely not. I was so happy about her. I remember when she first blew up in the manga and everyone was so excited on Twitter and they're like, yo, look at her, she got melanin, she's kicking butt, and I was like, oh, she's awesome. I want to play her, you know, on the down low. But I wasn't like, you know, I hadn't had the opportunity to like audition with then Funimation at the time, so I didn't think I would get it. But I was like, oh, she's cool. I like her a lot. So her being as popular as she was did not surprise me. Going ahead.
Yes. What was going through your mind when you were nominated for your first Crunchyroll Award?
Oh man, that was an honor. Because Echidna was like really hard, in the best way. Because I feel like I was still figuring out how to do like ADR, you know, like dubbing and moving and matching the lip flaps and acting and all that stuff. And I feel like that was a crash course. And also like my first time playing an antagonist, and she was such an interesting antagonist. And so to have her be recognized, I guess, as some of my best work, like that meant a lot. So
that's a two-parter. So what is your big three? But what anime world would you want to live in?
Big three. Film and Alchemist. I think One Piece is starting to get up there for me. And probably Eden of the East is my third. And which world? That's hard. I think I'd want to be in a magical girl world, so probably like Sailor Moon or something. That'd be cool. Speaking of, go on ahead.
This is going to be a little bit of a water is wet question, but I'm going to follow it up with something. You're a huge advocate for diversity and mental health.
Yes.
Both in front of the screen and behind the scenes. Why is this so important to you? Which is the water is wet question. But what resources do you recommend for artists up and coming who might not know there are these resources out there to help them?
Interesting. I mean, it's important because I remember being a kid and there was a lack of representation that was very evident. And I wanted to see myself in stories, but I never would. Like, I used to pretend I was Hermione Granger because she felt like me, you know, personality-wise, but also she didn't look like me. And I remember That's So Raven, and I was like, oh my gosh, Raven, and I was so excited because she looks like me, right? But I was very aware of the lack of representation as a kid, just watching stories. And then, you know, when I became aware of voice acting especially, I was like, oh, there's not a lot of folks behind the scenes that look like me. So I know what it's like to not see yourself on screen and behind the scenes, and how that can kind of affect what you think is possible for you. So for me, that, as well as mental health, you know, because I feel like that goes hand in hand in a way, those are very important things. In terms of resources though, I don't think I have anything immediate that I can think of. I just am very much in support of like reaching out to friends and being open with your emotions, because I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So I guess not being afraid to, you know, be honest about how you're feeling. Like if you're working on a show, for example, and you're like, hey, I'm having an off day, can we take it easy or whatever, like not being afraid to advocate for yourself, like I think that's important.
Your journey.
My journey, oh my gosh. Ooh, well, I said that I would like to be Hermione Granger when I was a kid. That was a big one. And so I loved the idea of stories and losing myself in my imagination. And but my first love was writing, and that's how I kind of fell in love with storytelling and what it could do with characters and what they can portray and make you feel. But I still liked acting. I just never pursued it because one, I didn't see folks that looked like me, and two, I had terrible social anxiety. So I didn't really get into that until I was writing fan fiction, because I was that person. Yes, UGX and Full Alchemist were my fandoms back then. And and I was writing fan fiction, and I had a friend who he was writing fan fiction also, but then he also liked to do voice acting, like fan dubs and stuff. And I'm like, what's that? How do you do that? So I remember auditioning for, like, back in the day on YouTube, there was when there was video responses, oh my gosh, there was Fanime that folks would have, which is basically like, you know, Sailor Moon knockoffs or whatever. And I would like audition for it, and that was really fun. And I just started watching more dubs, appreciating the cast, appreciating the work, trying to mimic it to, you know, because it was interesting to listen to, and especially the performances, like how do I sound like that? And I did that for so long, kind of on and off through my teenage years, because I started when I was 10, maybe? I think I was 10 years old. And yeah, once I had kind of started there, I eventually met some aspiring animators and game developers in the indie community, and I helped them with their work, you know, because they had some fun ideas, and it was cool to see something exist from the ground up. So I got to voice act for their stuff, and that was really fun, and I fell in love with it even more. And eventually I got paid for it, but sometimes they're like, here, you want some money? And I'm like, sure, okay. I won't say no. And I guess I was in that space for so long, like I started getting anime auditions. One of my first anime auditions was Kimono Friends, which was my first like anime role. And I booked that. I was very surprised. Flew over to Texas, fell in love with being in the booth, because I had never been in the booth before, like being directed, and I loved it. It felt so much like home. So, you know, it was drawing me more and more, and then I got RWBY, and I was like, oh shoot, because RWBY, I remember when that first came out, so to be a longtime fan and then voicing that show many seasons later was like, wow, maybe I can do this. And I guess one thing led to another, and now I'm here.
Awesome.
How about you?
So I know you were announced for a role when Bleach 1000 Year Blood War was coming out, and things kind of got turned around. What advice would you give to other up-and-coming actors to protect yourself from that situation, or is that just the name of the game?
You know, I feel like no matter what, and you don't even need to be an actor, like if you are doing good work, or if you are just a part of like some legacy project, I'll think of like Very Odd Parents recently as an example, where, you know, it's getting some hate just for featuring a Black character as the main character. And it's like, you know, you just gotta deal with it. Like I already knew I didn't know the outcome of what was gonna happen, but I already knew that there would be some opinionated these issues where folks are very protective of characters that don't necessarily are represented well. Like I feel like that is just them not being used to the times, I guess. And so for me, it's like, oh, it's a matter of time until, you know, things happen correctly, and it's a matter of time until better people are in charge so that things like that don't happen. So,
okay,
you know, just kind of being like, okay, sure, whatever. You right there.
Matt Jenkins, Moana Nui podcast. You just mentioned being a longtime fan and then getting to work on a project. If you could just pick your ideal project and your ideal person to do the voice for, does that exist for you? Have you given it that much thought as to what that might be?
You know, I mean, there's a lot of projects I would have loved to be a part of, like Fullmetal Alchemist had an amazing dub, 2003, and Brotherhood. I would have loved to be a part of any magical girl anime. Digimon is another big one where, you know, it keeps eluding me, but I'd love to be a part of that one. But honestly, I'm more excited about being a part of something new and making it my own. So I know when I was a kid, I used to think about that. Like, I wanted to be Ciel Phantom Hive for Black Butler and all that stuff. But now I'm just sort of like, I want to make something my own, you know? You right there.
Do you have any lines from your characters that relate to your personality?
Relate to my personality? Ooh, that's an interesting one. The first one that comes to mind is Tama from The Somnium Files, because Tama, she is a crazy, very sexual character, but she's the type of person who really messes with her friends. She likes to roast them and all that stuff. So, you know, she has this scene with this character where she's like, hey, do you see that lantern? And he's like, what about that lantern? And then she keeps prodding him and goading him, and then she's like, lantern these nuts! And it's like, this is something I would do to my friends, just like mess with them in the most basic way possible. So I think that one is a big one. You right there in the back.
Yeah. I got very excited when you said that you used to write fan fiction, because I too am a fan fiction writer.
Let's go.
Let's go. So I just have to ask, what do you think about this kind of new era we're moving into, where fanfic writers like Ali Hazelwood are stepping actually into the mainstream, being picked up for like movies and books of their own, and seeing fan fiction evolve to not be this kind of like secret thing that we do, but like being proud as fanfic writers?
It is so interesting. Like, I read fan fiction more sparsely now, but you know, to see folks actually publish their stuff, to see like, I think the earliest example was like 50 Shades of Grey, and that was like a Twilight fan fiction or whatever. And it's like, huh, that's so interesting. Because I feel like there's so many good writers in fan fiction, so some that honestly are probably better than the actual published ones. So to see that be recognized and to see this increase of like fan work being, I guess, acceptable as professional work, like I love that. I think it's really cool.
Because it's such an important part of fandom.
It
was fan fiction and zines that saved Star Trek, that saved Star Wars, and carried it. And it's so, especially being piloted by women, queer women, women of color, like it was women who carried fandoms for so long.
100%. I mean, I feel like that's the reason why we have conventions in the first place. It's just people who are excited about these fandoms and people who, you know, they love to get together and do pictures and here's my ship, look at my ship, you know, making out and all that stuff. And I think, yeah, fandom is such an important part of like, I think any piece of media. So if you have a fandom that's very dedicated and wants to, you know, see all these things out of it, I think fandom is cool. So,
ask a question.
What is your favorite part about being a Black nerd and being a part of Blerd culture? I
love it. I love seeing women of color in anime and all the things. I love how fun, you know, Black people are, especially on Twitter. We make the funniest jokes, and it's just so fun, like being at these like events, like, you know, MomoCon is very diverse, but also there's a lot of us, and it's like, oh man, this is cool. Like, I love seeing this Cloud cosplayer twerk, you know, like that's fire. So I just love seeing us express ourselves and be unapologetic, and you know, it's cool because I also remember a time when it wasn't cool to be like that. I mean, for me, I just kind of did it, you know, unapologetically because I was socially awkward anyways. But to see how it's changed from like, oh, you like anime, weirdo, to those same folks being like, anime is so cool, oh my gosh, have you watched this? And it's like, that's interesting, but you know, that's cool that we've gotten to that point where we're cooler than the cool kids.
right, that's the end of our interview. We'll go ahead and get pictures at the backdrop with the press outlet.
Cause I gotta let you know that I'm gonna bust you like.
Yeah. Good morning, Blerd the Reason. You know what I'm saying? It's your illustrious host, Braylon, and
Michael. You know what I'm saying?
and welcome to another pre-recorded episode of Blerd of Reason. Roll the
Fuck
top.
that up there. To the top.
Appreciate you for that. Shit. All right, welcome back, y'all, to another pre-recorded episode. Today was gonna be one of a new special type of episode. You know what I'm saying? We're trying something new. We're doing a little watch party today. You know what I'm saying? That is why I started off in my bed, and I'm in my bed right now, with the scarf on my head.
That's what I'm saying. Truth be told, we're in our jammies. We're in our jammies.
In the jammies today. We in the jammies today. You know what I'm saying? While I didn't just wake up, might as well have. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all the information on the short film we'll be watching and everything will be said before we watch it. So let's get right into the news. You know what I'm saying? Not too much new news today. I really just got one thing for real. For all my Kaiju number 8 fans, they just dropped the trailer for a new mobile game that they have in the works. You know what I'm saying? So be very sure to check that out. Kaiju number 8 is one of the most popping new animes out right now. So you know what I'm saying? If y'all haven't started watching it, go watch that. It's fire. You know what I'm saying? If you have watched it, you might as well read the manga. The manga's gas too. I'm in the process of reading that jump right now, not gonna lie. And yeah, shit, that's all we got for news for real. You know what I'm saying? We will now introduce our special guest. You've seen her before with her big ass head. Jared. Come on, Miss Flo. You come on back in. Look at her.
God, hey, everyone. It is your favorite CEO, Miss Flo. And I'm here to bring you, of course, more updates from Blerd Station. For the past couple episodes, I'm enjoying my popcorn. I don't care. For the past couple episodes, we've been showing you various features and reasons why you should invest and get your subscription to Blerd Station. Whether you're getting comics, manga, music on top of original shows, whether animation, live action, and of course, syndications of our best Blerd content from other platforms. All right. The exciting news is that some movies are already up on the platform, and we're going to check them out today. Well, not all of them. There is a 17-minute movie, Suicide by Sunlight, that was featured at Sundance. So, ooh la la, very fancy. So it is, as you can probably guess, it is a vampire movie, but I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so that y'all can read the synopsis.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
All right. So Valentina, a day-walking black vampire protected from the sun by her melanin, is forced to suppress her bloodlust to regain custody of her estranged daughters in the acclaimed short.
That makes so much sense. Bro.
It does.
That a black vampire would be a daywalker. That's why Blerd. Nah,
that makes a lot of
that's
sense.
why Blerd was a daywalker. That's why Blerd was a daywalker. Not because he was half human, because he was black. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Oh, God. With the way that the Blerd production is going, this may be the only black vampire movie we may see in a long while.
But we gotta lock in.
Nah, for real.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and play it, sit back and relax. This is the time where we're actually okay to talk through a movie. So
you know how we black folk do. Every 2 minutes.
Who
Who that? What's going on there? Why did that just happen? Come on now.
All right. And roll it.
Our guest is zoologist Dr. Elijah Peter, NYU professor and author of Vampires, Negroes, and Fairies.
He's asking for you. Won't speak, won't eat. Do you have a sec? Can you visit? Thanks, girl.
Light on African American vampires walk among us during the day, protected by their melanin.
Micah, I'm coming in, okay?
Dr. Steer, this is so fascinating.
Yes, it is. But look, one thing I like to clarify about these so-called vampires, as popular culture refers to them, is that most of them are not killing, nor are they killing indiscriminately. The violent outliers.
I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I just have to ask, if we're talking African American vampires, then what's going on with the white ones?
They're more disenfranchised than their white human counterparts. They'd essentially be committing suicide by sunlight. If they tried to daywalk, this greatly limits their ability to pass as humans.
You're such a scaredy cat. But you have to stop scaring me, Micah. You're gonna give me a heart attack. Then what?
Do CPR. Maybe.
You're in trouble, big boy. You have to eat. And you'll get weaker and weaker, and then what good will you be?
Oh, good. He wanted to see you. Micah, you ready to eat now, baby?
I'll leave you. Next time, did you give birth to them? I just want to see them. Please. Just put them on the phone. Let them decide. Put Faith on the phone at least. You know, I can get gutter if that's what you want to see. Dirtier than you ever imagined. What I really am. And what are you? Weak. Sickly. Dying in dog years. You hate the fact that I outlived you, and I'll show the girls who they really are.
Hi. Remember me? My name is Joe.
We're gonna have to work on that. You hear me? We're gonna have to work on it. Nay, can I have your scooter? Can I have yours? Thank you. Thank you.
Remember how to
Dad?
Faith, home?
put down the scooter.
Hey, girls. Mommy.
Here you go. Get up the stairs.
Langston, they're my girls too. Langston.
Enough. What the fuck are you doing?
I want to see them.
No,
Langston.
not today.
When you see me, I'm here in the flesh. I'm begging you.
If you don't control yourself, you'll never see them again. I swear to God, everybody will know.
Everybody will know what?
Stop!
Damn!
Not today!
You have someone who is in there with them.
Just a little more. Just a little.
I said don't bite.
Baby, that ain't no bite.
It is.
You sit right now. I can't help myself.
Not so hard.
No, I
Hi, babies. I don't know if you'll get to hear this message, but I always hope you do. Mommy misses you so much. I think about you both every single day. Don't worry. Mommy is gonna come for you soon. Could you get her another?
Coming up.
Thank you.
So this is his.
How many she eating?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, girl, you went on a bender.
Ugh. I don't think you can fake that, but okay. Okay.
I'm saying, bro.
He's been here for 6 months. What are you gonna do?
Oh man.
She gonna turn him?
But then he gonna stay a kid forever. That's gonna suck. She about to lose her job for real.
Oh my God.
This is a sign of the end of days. Men would walk among monsters. And I saw the woman. She was drunk with the blood of the saints, the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I marveled greatly. Revelation 17:6. There are those whose teeth are sword, whose veins are knives, to devour the poor of the earth and the needy from mankind. Proverbs 30:6. Wait. This is what the Bible says. You don't have to believe it to be true. This is the word of God. This is our world.
Me and my friends got pizza. Then I fell asleep. You fell asleep? I was really tired.
Oh? Oh, maybe it's Mommy.
Mommy?
Open the door for Mommy.
Oh. Let Mommy in, okay?
She's gonna get her stepmother killed.
Oh God.
Oh.
Oh
Look at you.
Guess what I did for my birthday?
What'd you do?
I went on a cruise car and went to Disneyland and I milked the cow.
You milked the cow?
Yeah.
Did your dad home?
No.
What else did you do?
I went down the water slide and I jumped in the pool.
That's nice, sweetie. You're always my stubborn baby.
Kira,
Are you gonna snitch?
she's here.
Probably got a gun, don't you? Nah, never mind.
Hi, Valentina. I was hoping we could meet under different circumstances.
Babe, take your sister upstairs.
Chill, dude.
Are you
Nah, that's
okay?
rap. Hell no, she not.
I take it Langston's told you about me. Yes.
I don't fuck with Langston. You keep it a buck. I don't fuck
Not at
with
all.
him.
It's 6 feet.
I just
God,
know you're
though.
not supposed to be here right now.
Where am I supposed to be then?
Can you just wait for Langston, please? It'll be better that way. Let's put the girls first. Seriously, I love them as much as you do.
Yes.
I seen it coming.
Damn. Damn.
Didn't even give her a chance.
That's what I'm saying. Did her worse than any other John she ate. Got her on the tub.
Mommy?
Well, at least that's easier to clean later.
Don't be mad at Mommy. It was a mistake. Mom was scared.
Cap, how you scared? You're a whole vampire.
It's fine. Everything is okay.
It's not okay.
Come. You don't have to be scared of mommy.
You
You're
got
more
a
like
whole
mommy
bloody
than you
body
know.
in the tub. What you mean?
Girl, fuck no. Fuck wrong with her?
Bro, you got. They have vampires too, so they probably feel differently about it. You know what I'm saying? See, look at her eyes. Look at her eyes.
No, I was wondering that though. Was her kids vampires too? Boy, that shit crazy. I knew that shit was gonna happen. The moment she let her in the door, I was like, yeah, it's over for old girl.
Yeah.
I was like, it's over for old girl. It's raps.
Yeah.
You would think, as you know, your ex is a vampire, so no other precautions in the house.
I would have moved. I would
Like
have moved.
no weapon.
She wouldn't know where I live.
That's what I'm saying. I would have dipped off. Now, granted, keeping it from the kids is kind of crazy.
But when she,
I mean, with the shorty, now she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to murk shorty. You know what I'm saying? She had to murk her like that. Like she did her bad in the tub, looking like a scary movie, bro.
I'm saying she ain't had to do her like that, bro. She didn't do nothing all that bad. She didn't do nothing bad at all, actually.
She was just there.
She didn't give her.
But my whole thing is just like, why would you date a man whose ex is a vampire? I'd probably be like, are y'all on good terms? Like, there'd be a lot of like questions. I would ask if the kids were half vampire. Are you cool with your ex? Like, is it a co-parenting situation, or do I need to get some silver?
Is keep shawty away from me and wherever I'm at, because at the end of the day, shit like that gonna happen, bro. That's crazy, bro. She didn't even give her a chance to. She didn't even want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Straight teeth and neck.
But at the same time, the kids have vampires. Who's gonna teach them how to be who they are?
That could have been a phone call, but I feel like
phone call is crazy.
No, I mean they could have I feel like they could have worked it out. It's just
That's
like how are you gonna
bro?
Just you can't. How you gonna deal with when they have that craving? You gonna feed them?
Bro, she's a crash out, bro. I'm not gonna front. Crash out like shit. Don't even care. She sucking niggas. She sucking blood in the bathroom. Pause. Chill, you gotta let me finish. You gotta let me finish. She sucking niggas blood in the bathroom. In the goddamn
In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
monkey masked. I'd honestly rather use a white hood.
Things getting gritty, keep it pop with me.
Now, what hero you know? Or monkey mask.
Vigilante, did it for the city.
We are talking sex, B&E, and murder. All for a drug.
Where are the heroes? We'll wipe out these dealers one by one until they get the message. Tommy for the speed. Brian will kinetically charge Zay with a couple of hits. I'll handle the camouflage. You take the D-blood from the dealers and destroy it. Tonight did not go as planned.
What y'all doing?
You're not heroes, Tommy. Not now, not ever.
I don't have to be a hero to do the right thing.
Let's go. That's all I gotta say.
That looks amazing.
Mhm.
That looks.
Somebody said from zero to anti-hero. But I like seeing it. Like shout out. First off, shout out what's in Happy Birthday that was good. And shout out to the homie Cleo Thomas. I think Man Apollo Fresh, Mr. JoJo Pose himself is on the soundtrack, and Irving Lambert is somewhere on the production. So I like seeing so many different parts of the Black internet come together for stuff like this.
That's good quality stuff. I'm like, we ain't heard from What's Good in a while. I'm like, oh, no wonder you've been working, my guy. Sometimes you can't do the vines and everything else. You gotta put some work in.
Sometimes you gotta go deep. Sometimes you gotta go underground.
Hey, and it works.
Sometimes that stuff is just to stack so you can work on this in the background.
Yeah.
You ain't got time to flex on social media. It's time to put it all to work. Let's go.
Right.
Eat me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes. I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Hi, this is Kira from Roomful of Blerds, here with Miss Mary of Geeks and Grubs. Love you, boo. Thank you so much. I can't wait. Oh my God, how was your con experience here at DreamCon?
Oh my gosh, my con experience was amazing. I met so many interesting people, and then I had a bunch of people coming up telling me how much they love the content that I make, which really just made me want to make more. I was like, thank you so much, guys. Y'all didn't know, but like anytime someone tells me something about my page that they liked, it really just motivates me to do more. I'm like, yes, thank you.
That is all you need. And like, for me, this experience at DreamCon is nothing but inspiration and motivation to keep going.
Absolutely.
If you want to come next year, I advise you to start planning financially right now.
Right now. It's just gonna get bigger.
It's be on time.
Be on time. Don't act like white people. Come on.
What are you planning to do next? I know you've got a few pop-ups here.
I do.
Yes.
So I have a few pop-ups. In September, I'm doing a Jujutsu Kaisen one that's going to be in San Antonio. And then I'm also going to be doing, I haven't figured out, I think it's going to be a Naruto one that I'm going to do in the Bay Area. And I'm teaming up with a place in Houston called Killer Noodle. And I don't know which anime we're going to choose, but I feel like I have a variety.
I think you do. I think like at least 30, 40 years worth of places.
You know, maybe.
Cool. Jesus Lord, what's your next cosplay?
My next cosplay is going to be Ninetales.
I have to see that. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Okay.
It's gonna be really good. Like I have a wolf headdress and everything. Like
where do you get your
Swaggy cosplayer made it for me?
That's a plug.
He was just like, Mary, if you put the fur on it, I'll make it. And I was like, you a real one, Swaggy.
I need somebody to do that stuff for me because all I do is just some like fashion cosplay. I just throw some stuff together that look cute.
You gotta get a hold of Swaggy. Like his build's legendary. Just on IG Swaggy Cosplayer, that's it.
All right, IG Swaggy Cosplayer. That's a free plug, my guy. Look me up. I need help. Oh my God. Jesus. What were some? Did you go to any of the panels?
I didn't go to any of the panels only because I was sleeping because I was up partying tonight. I went to the parties.
The parties
I
were
went to several parties, and also the panel that was called the Cookout. That one tricked me. I thought there was food, and I was like, why am I not a part of this panel? And I'm like, oh, we're talking.
We're chit chat. It's like the barbershop, but outside. So next year. You'll be a guest.
I would love to. I like applied to be one this year, but I think it was all like booked up, sold out.
Well, I'm gonna write a letter. I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter.
You should. Everybody write a letter, okay?
Please.
And let them know, like, I can be a food vendor. Let's go.
We literally
I can be a guest on the panel.
Nothing but cardboard pizza and some noodles in this piece. She makes noodles. Like
she makes pizza.
All the
she
time.
writes on cardboard.
Ma'am, sister, sir, whoever's in charge, please. Lovely. Geeks and Grub, Miss Mary. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me, my love. I love you so much. Oh, I can't wait to see you again. And come to New York.
Absolutely. I'm trying to be there for New York Comic Con. Such trying. We're working some things out.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Just like, I knew if I go there, I can't just be there for like the 3 days. I'm like, I'm going to spend 2 weeks in New York.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have to do some pop-ups over there. I need to see people. I was like, New York is going to be its whole thing.
Ooh.
So somebody fly Mary out to New York. Let's go.
I'm gonna talk to you about some places after we get off.
That would be great.
Because there are places I think you should go and you would fit right the fuck in. Okay, cool. So, Kira, Lady Mandalore, Blerd's Eye View, room full of blerds. Signing off. Thank you for being here, Miss Mary. We will talk to y'all when we see y'all. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Lady from Geek by Hearts.
Lady Mandalore, also known as Room Full of Blerds.
Chris Fury.
We'll be watching Mayhem Media.
And you are watching
Blerd's Eye View.
It's been a while since I dropped that one, so here we go. So a certain friend of the show, Cleo Thomas, and Wes Anderson, aka What's Good, dropped a trailer yesterday. And I'll be damned if this trailer didn't look pretty damn good. We don't get this type of quality anywhere. So what we got is a new movie that they're getting ready to drop. They haven't announced exactly when that is coming down, but hopefully we can get them on to talk about it. But this movie is called Vigilante, and it's coming soon. Here it is.
Bro, why would you, as a black man, get 3 other black men monkey masked? I'd honestly rather use a white hood.
Things getting gritty, keep a pop with me.
Now, what hero you know? Or monkey mask.
Vigilante, did it for the city.
We are talking theft, B&E, and murder. All for a drug.
Where are the heroes? We'll wipe out these dealers one by one until they get the message. Tommy for the speed. Brian will kinetically charge Zay with a couple of hits. I'll handle the camouflage. You take the D blood from the dealers and destroy it. Tonight did not go as planned. We're not heroes, Tommy. Not now, not ever.
I don't have to be a hero to do the right thing.
Let's go. That's all I gotta say.
That looks amazing. That looks.
Somebody said from zero to anti-hero. But I like seeing it. Like shout out. First off, shout out what's in Happy Birthday was good. And shout out to the homie Cleo Thomas. I think Man Apollo Fresh, Mr. JoJo Pose himself is on the soundtrack, and Irving Lambert is somewhere on the production. So I like seeing so many different parts of the Black internet come together for stuff like this.
That's good quality stuff. I'm like, we ain't heard from What's Good in a while. I'm like, oh, no wonder you've been working, my guy. Sometimes you can't do the vines and everything else. You gotta put some work in.
Sometimes you gotta go deep. Sometimes you gotta go underground.
Hey, and it works.
Sometimes that stuff is just a stack so you can work on this in the background.
Yeah.
You ain't got time to flex on it on social media. It's time to put it all to work. Let's go.
Right.
Put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin, activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear.
All right, we're gonna get started with our next guest interview. Go ahead with the next question from the audience.
Go ahead.
Congrats on your engagement, by the way.
Thank you.
So reading her in the manga, I knew she was going to be a fan favorite when she was animated, but were you surprised at all at just the instant love that came with voicing Mirko?
Absolutely not. I was so happy about her. I remember when she first blew up in the manga and everyone was so excited on Twitter and they're like, yo, look at her, she got melanin, she's kicking butt, and I was like, oh, she's awesome. I want to play her, on the down low. But I wasn't I hadn't had the opportunity to audition with then Funimation at the time, so I didn't think I would get it, but I was like, oh, she's cool. I like her a lot, so her being as popular as she was did not surprise me. Going ahead.
Yes. What was going through your mind when you were nominated for your first Crunchyroll Award?
Oh man, that was an honor, because Echidna was really hard, in the best way. Because I feel like I was still figuring out how to do like ADR, you know, like dubbing and moving and matching the lip flaps and acting and all that stuff. And I feel like that was a crash course. And also like my first time playing an antagonist, and she was such an interesting antagonist. And so to have her be recognized, I guess, as some of my best work, like that meant a lot. So
that's a two-parter. So what is your big three? But what anime world would you want to live in?
Big three. Film and Alchemist. I think One Piece is starting to get up there for me. And probably Eden of the East is my third. And which world? That's hard. I think I'd want to be in a magical girl world, so probably like Sailor Moon or something. That'd be cool. Speaking of, go on ahead.
This is going to be a little bit of a water is wet question, but I'm going to follow it up with something. You're a huge advocate for diversity and mental health.
Yes.
Both in front of the screen and behind the scenes. Why is this so important to you? Which is the water is wet question. But what resources do you recommend for artists up and coming who might not know there are these resources out there to help them?
Interesting. I mean, it's important because I remember being a kid and there was a lack of representation that was very evident. And I wanted to see myself in stories, but I never would. Like, I used to pretend I was Hermione Granger because she felt like me, you know, personality-wise, but also she didn't look like me. And I remember That's So Raven, and I was like, oh my gosh, Raven, and I was so excited because she looks like me, right? But I was very aware of the lack of representation as a kid, just watching stories. And then, you know, when I became aware of voice acting especially, I was like, oh, there's not a lot of folks behind the scenes that look like me. So I know what it's like to not see yourself on screen and behind the scenes, and how that can kind of affect what you think is possible for you. So for me, that, as well as mental health, you know, because I feel like that goes hand in hand in a way, those are very important things. In terms of resources though, I don't think I have anything immediate that I can think of. I'm very much in support of like reaching out to friends and being open with your emotions, because I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So I guess not being afraid to, you know, be honest about how you're feeling. Like if you're working on a show, for example, and you're like, hey, I'm having an off day, can we take it easy or whatever, like not being afraid to advocate for yourself, like I think that's important to do. Thank you. What about you?
Blame along with complete non-authority. Walk me through your journey.
My journey, oh my gosh. Ooh, well, I said that I liked to be Hermione Granger when I was a kid. That was a big one. And so I loved the idea of stories and losing myself in my imagination. And but my first love was writing, and that's how I kind of fell in love with storytelling and what it could do with characters and what they can portray and make you feel. But I still liked acting. I just never pursued it because, one, I didn't see folks that looked like me, and two, I had terrible social anxiety. So I didn't really get into that until I was writing fan fiction, because I was that person. Yes, UGX and Full Alchemist were my fandoms back then. And I was writing fan fiction, and I had a friend who, he was writing fan fiction also, but then he also liked to do voice acting, like fan dubs and stuff. And I'm like, what's that? How do you do that? So I remember auditioning for, like, back in the day on YouTube, there was when there was video responses, oh my gosh, there was Fanime that folks would have, which is basically like, you know, Sailor Moon knockoffs or whatever. And I would like audition for it, and that was really fun. And I just started watching more dubs, appreciating the cast, appreciating the work, trying to mimic it to, you know, because it it was interesting to listen to, and especially the performances, like how do I sound like that? And I did that for so long, kind of on and off through my teenage years, because I started when I was 10, maybe? I think I was 10 years old. And yeah, once I kind of started there, I eventually met some aspiring animators and game developers in the indie community, and I helped them with their work, you know, because they had some fun ideas, and it was cool to see something exist from the ground up. So I got to voice act for their stuff, and that was really fun, and I fell in love with it even more. And eventually I got paid for it, but sometimes they're like, here, you want some money? And I'm like, sure, okay. I won't say no. And I guess I was in that space for so long, like I started getting anime auditions. One of my first anime auditions was Kimono Friends, which was my first like anime role. And I booked that. I was very surprised. Flew over to Texas, fell in love with being in the booth, because I had never been in the booth before, like being directed, and I loved it. It felt so much like home. So, you know, it was drawing me more and more, and then I got Ruby, and I was like, oh shoot, because Ruby, I remember when that first came out, so to be a longtime fan and then voicing that show many seasons later was like, wow, maybe I can do this. And I guess one thing led to another, and now I'm here.
Awesome.
How about you?
So I know you were announced for a role when Bleach 1000 Year Blood War was coming out, and things kind of got turned around. What advice would you give to other up-and-coming actors to protect yourself from that situation, or is that just the name of the game?
You know, I feel like no matter what, and you don't even need to be an actor, like if you are doing good work, or if you are just a part of like some legacy project, I'll think of like Very Odd Parents recently as an example, where, you know, it's getting some hate just for featuring a Black character as the main character. And it's like, you know, you just gotta deal with it. Like I already knew I didn't know the outcome of what was gonna happen, but I already knew that there would be some opinionated folks. So I just kind of took a step away from social media, made the announcement, bounced, and I was like, okay, cool, that's fun. And everything that transpired after that was, you know, I spoke to my support group and spoke to my fiance and kind of vented things, but I tried not to internalize so much, because I feel like these issues where folks are very protective of characters that don't necessarily are represented well, like I feel like that is just them not being used to the times, I guess. And so for me, it's like, oh, it's a matter of time until, you know, things happen correctly, and it's a matter of time until better people are in charge so that things like that don't happen. So,
okay,
you know, just kind of being like, okay, sure, whatever. You right there.
Matt Jenkins, Moana Nui podcast. You just mentioned being a longtime fan and then getting to work on a project. If you could just pick your ideal project and your ideal person to do the voice for, does that exist for you? Have you given it that much thought as to what that might be?
You know, I mean, there's a lot of projects I would have loved to be a part of, like Fullmetal Alchemist had an amazing dub, 2003, and Brotherhood. I would have loved to be a part of any magical girl anime. Digimon is another big one where, you know, it keeps eluding me, but I'd love to be a part of that one. But honestly, I'm more excited about being a part of something new and making it my own. So I know when I was a kid, I used to think about that. Like I wanted to be Ciel Phantom Hive for Black Butler and all that stuff. But now I'm just sort of like, I want to make something my own, you know? You right there.
Do you have any lines from your characters that resonate your personality?
relate to my personality. Ooh, that's an interesting one. The first one that comes to mind is Tama from The Somnium Files, because Tama, she is a crazy, very sexual character, but she's the type of person who really messes with her friends. She likes to roast them and all that stuff. So, you know, she has this scene with this character where she's like, hey, do you see that lantern? And he's like, what about that lantern? And then she keeps prodding him and goading him, and then she's like, lantern these nuts! And it's like, this is something I would do to my friends, just like mess with them in the most basic way possible. So I think that one is a big one. You right there in the back.
Yeah, I got very excited when you said that you used to write fan fiction, because I too am a fan fiction writer.
Let's go.
Let's go. So I just have to ask, what do you think about this kind of new era we're moving into, where fanfic writers like Ali Hazelwood are stepping actually into the mainstream, being picked up for like movies and books of their own, and seeing fan fiction evolve to not be this kind of like secret thing that we do, but like being proud as fanfic writers?
It is so interesting. Like, I read fan fiction more sparsely now, but you know, to see folks actually publish their stuff, to see like, I think the earliest example was like 50 Shades of Grey, and that was like a Twilight fan fiction or whatever. And it's like, huh, that's so interesting. Because I feel like there's so many good writers in fan fiction, so some that honestly are probably better than the actual published ones. So to see that be recognized, and to see this increase of like fan work being, I guess, acceptable as professional work, like I love that. I think it's really cool.
Because it's such an important part of fandom.
It
It was fan fiction and zines that saved Star Trek, that saved Star Wars, and carried it. And it's so, especially being piloted by women, queer women, women of color, like it was women who carried fandoms for so long.
100%. I mean, I feel like that's the reason why we have conventions in the first place. It's just people who are excited about these fandoms, and people who, you know, they love to get together and do pictures, and here's my ship, look at my ship, you know, making out and all that stuff. And I think, yeah, fandom is such an important part of, like, I think any piece of media. So if you have a fandom that's very dedicated and wants to, you know, see all these things out of it, I think fandom is cool. So,
ask a question.
What is your favorite part about being a Black nerd and being a part of Blerd culture?
I love it. I love seeing women of color in anime and all the things. I love how fun, you know, Black people are, especially on Twitter. We make the funniest jokes, and it's just so fun, like being at these like events, like, you know, MomoCon is very diverse, but also there's a lot of us, and it's like, ah, man, this is cool. Like, I love seeing this Cloud cosplayer twerk, you know, like that's fire. So I just love seeing us express ourselves and be unapologetic, and you know, it's cool because I also remember a time when it wasn't cool to be like that. I mean, for me, I just kind of did it, you know, unapologetically because I was socially awkward anyways. But to see how it's changed from like, oh, you like anime, weirdo, to those same folks being like, anime is so cool, oh my gosh, have you watched this? And it's like, that's interesting, but you know, that's cool that we've gotten to that point where we're cooler than the cool kids.
All right, that's the end of our interview. We'll go ahead and take pictures at the backdrop with the press outlets.
Cause I gotta let you know that I'm gonna bust in you like.
What's up, Doc?
So you were the writers who snuck in the "What's Up, Doc" line.
No, there was a writer. I think his name is Jeremy, and when we do like anime, like we have to fit lip flaps. It's a very important thing. So there's like the main line that they might have, and then they might have like alts in case a line is too short or in case maybe it's too long, whatever. And so "What's Up, Doc" was one of the alts. And I saw that, and I didn't give them any options. I only did that one. I was like,
why is not more people talking? We just got a Looney Tunes reference.
I think it's like, oh.
Love that y'all snuck that in there.
Yeah, I was like, no other options. We're doing this one.
Yes.
Hey, it's famous Jessi here, and I am here at BlerdCon, sponsored by Blerd Station, and I'm here with.
What's up, everybody? I'm Savon Anthony, your master of ways, love and joys, trouble boy, Aeoxis. I'm glad to be here at BlerdCon. How you feeling?
I'm freaking awesome. How are you?
I'm great. I'm wonderful. I'm alive. I'm feeling strong. I'm an apex male. Yes, indeed. I'm out here.
I see. So, how are you liking it at BlerdCon?
Oh, I love it. Every single year, I love it. I love what it represents. I love seeing people come together. It's literally like the cookout of all conventions. Every single time I'm happy. So, yeah.
All right.
Same old.
All right. So, is this your first BlerdCon?
No. I think I've been to 5 of them. And performed at, this year will be 3. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, it's my first time.
Yeah?
I'm very much enjoying it. Like, it's so nice. The environment is lovely.
Yeah.
So, where are you from?
I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm from Southeast, not Southeast. Oh, my God, I'm from Southeast, D.C. I'm from Southeast. What's up? I'm joking. Stop. Try to act like I'm gangster. I'm gangster adjacent. I'm hood adjacent. I never lived in the hood. I ain't gangster. My brothers was gangster. I stayed in the house.
So, going to school, what were you like? Like, were you quiet to yourself? Where was you outgoing?
Oh, you said like at school?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I went to private school till I was in high school, right? So when I got to high school, yeah, I was really to myself. I was in my own world, very quiet until a lot of the kids saw me with manga and that I could play guitar and stuff like that. They're like, oh, you're a weird kid like this, like us. I'm like, weird kid? Oh, okay. I guess I'm one of them, huh? But really, I was like the sleeper dude where I was cool with a whole bunch of different cliques. So whether it was the athletes, because I've been an athlete half my life too, whether it was the jocks, whatever, the jocks, the nerds, other stuff like that, I was more the quiet kid that got adopted into every group. So,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So, out of all the manga books, what are your favorites?
Out of
all the manga books, what are your favorites?
Out of all the mangas, what is my favorite? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I would say Samurai Deeper always has a place in my heart. Thinking specifically about manga that I've like either completed or I was deep in, because I'm more of the anime guy. Suzuka, definitely. And of course, Bleach.
Right. My bad. So, in the Blerd community, how do you feel about the negative comments about it?
The negative comments about the Blerd community?
Yes.
Like what?
Basically, that we can't be any kind of character, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's called bullshit. So I think it's just very weird to me because my entire life I was always told you could do whatever you want to do, be whatever you want to be, right?
Right.
Even the funny thing, I'm doing an interview. Let me call you back. Oh, they hung up. Good. So I just think it's one of those things where the whole world of being a nerd is already like alternative, right? So you may have some people that feel like they're in a space where now they're not the nail anymore. And they feel like, oh, I have an opportunity to be a hammer, so let me take somebody who's marginalized within our group and point the gun at them. It's just like, what are you doing? So to me, it's like, okay, you don't think a person can cosplay a character because of their skin tone. You do realize that these characters are fictitious, right?
It never made sense.
It's like, I've never stopped any of my white friends from dressing like rappers during Halloween. I never have, so I don't really understand what the problem is.
Right. So your music, you're supposed to be performing tomorrow, right?
I do have a performance tomorrow at 5:45 on the outside stage. So that'll be a first for me. Normally, like my first couple times here, I was on the inside on the main stage area, which I was blessed. Right. And now I'm like, oh yeah, I never paid my dues, so let me go outside and sweat.
Right.
But yeah, it should be a good time.
And the music of what genre are you?
It's funny because in the guidebook, I'm listed as a heavy metal singer. And I'm just gonna give you guys some clarification. So I do metal sometimes, but I am a very eclectic human being, not just in music, but in all my artistry, right? So a lot of my favorite bands and influences, they all do so many things like flow. They can go from ska to hip hop to reggae to metal to jazz, Latin jazz, bossa nova, anything like that, right? So tomorrow you're gonna get a mix of a lot of things. I tend to incorporate, as a base, I'll do metal, I'll do hip hop, and I'll do some jazz elements with EDM. So,
So what are your top 5 music genres?
my top 5 music genres, oh my gosh. I would say progressive metal. I'm not gonna say progressive metal. Progressive music in general. Like I love instrumentals. I like when things change a lot. I like dynamic things in general. Jazz, I really like jazz. I do like symphonic power metal because as a kid, I was a classical kid and I was raised playing violin. So when I saw that there was like a metal genre that incorporated like classical music and even down to the theatrics, I'm like, oh, this is me right here. It's just that as far as playing it all the time, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave that to the artist that I like. I'll make a song, but yeah.
All right. So your skits, how are they coming along? And the university ones, when are you gonna start putting some more of those? Because those are like my favorite.
Oh my goodness, the university skits have taken on a life of their freaking own. I actually have a Pound Town University shirt right here. It's actually the original concept I came up with when making the skits in general. But you'll see a lot more of those, especially after this week. I literally have like notebooks filled with all the silly names in universities. At some point, I got to do a Pro Bowl because everybody in their mom is like, you got to do a Pro Bowl. I'm like, okay, I'll get a group of friends together, maybe some people on the internet, and do some fun stuff like that. But they're really fun. They're really fun because they can range from like downright hilarious to relatably cheesy. So it works. I love doing it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it seems like you have the Mario hat on. Do you do cosplay?
You know, I've never cosplayed on purpose. Even today, like I was wearing the jacket I normally wear during my When You Haven't Researched Your Opponent skits when I'm the announcer, and people thought I was like a pimp version of Mario, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a pimp named Mario, like Slickback. Like, let's go. But no, I've never cosplayed on purpose. I remember one of the first times I ever went to Otakon, I just happened to be wearing a headband, a white dress shirt, and I think some black pants or something. I'm walking around and people are like, hey, you're Bob from Tango Tenge. And I'm like, I am just like him. Yeah, taking pictures with me. Actually, I didn't even know because no one said anything to me until like the 5th person took a picture with me. Like, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, why? And I'm just posing with people like, I don't know what's going on here. And then someone's like, you didn't know you were. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so not on purpose, but I kind of have. I'm interested though. I would want to, but some of the projects I want to do, I feel like would take so long. I'm a very creative person. I like making things with my hands. So it's just like, okay, so do I go full Halo or do I just chill out? Like, I don't know.
So Have you ever been to any of the Comic Cons down south or anything like that? How many have you been to?
You said Comic Cons like down south?
Yeah, like DreamCon, stuff like
I
that.
haven't been to DreamCon. The only convention I've been to in the South was DragonCon.
Real?
Yeah, which was that made me realize I have a social battery as a human being. Because I'm like, how many people are here? About 80,000. I'm going to the hotel room, sir. That was a lot of human beings. So, yeah, I do want to go to DreamCon. It's a bunch of conventions I want to go to. So whether it's performing or attending, I just want to go. I love this stuff. I really do. I'm normally here like at MagFest, or you'll catch me at PAX, or anything on the in between.
All right. So, anybody special in your life?
Anybody special in my life? Oh man. Oh shoot. Like no one ever was. Okay, now back to the question. Anybody special in my life? Listen, I'm dating. At some point, listen, I have people in my life who I'm like the guy that if I'm gonna date you, I gotta kind of be your friend first. Like there's no, oh, I thought you were pretty and that's it. Like that.
Yeah.
It's never been like that for me, even when I was younger. But I do have a person in my life right now who is just like, yo, where the heck were you before I was traumatized? You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah. We'll see how that goes.
All right. Good luck on that.
Mm-hmm.
Any kids?
You said any what?
Any kids?
Any kids? No. You ain't gonna catch no kids from me. If you get a kid from me, that was divine intervention. All right, you just gonna see me post online. Hey, everybody, I'm a daddy. That's it. Like, I may not want them, but at the end of the day, like, as a kid that grew up without a dad until my stepfather came into the picture, I could not imagine not being in my kid's life. I just could not imagine that. Right. No. Because I know the impact. I was raised around before my stepdad came around, a lot of righteous men, not in the religious like aspect, but like these guys showed me how to be a man. You know what I mean? And I know the impact of that. Heck, most of the men I was raised around, they're the reason I'm even here. They're the reason I got into any type of anime, video games, anything like that, or any of my hobbies. So it's like I know the impact that has. So that's why I am the way I am with my nephews, with my friends' children, stuff like that. It's like, nah, man, you got to have good representation. If you don't, like, you're setting people up for failure.
Pretty much. So you've been on YouTube, or have you been on any social medias? And when did you start doing videos?
Oh man, I've been doing videos for a while. I'd say I probably did my first little funny skit back in like 2008 or something, but that was before I really gave a crap about anything. Then I went to college and started doing things a little bit more once I came home, but I was never consistent, right? So I'd say about 2011 is when I was like, okay, bits and pieces. But then about 2 years ago, that's when I started to really ramp it up and I was just thinking like, let me show everybody what I do, whether it's the funny stuff, whether it's the music stuff, whether it's building things, anything that I want to do. And, there's an audience everywhere. And it works out. It's pretty good. Like funny thing is, I'm starting to run into people now that saw things that I did so long ago, because I started on YouTube as a cover artist. I was doing like anime theme song covers. Yeah. So
what's your favorite anime theme song?
My favorite anime theme. Oh, you asking the tough questions.
Yeah.
That would have to be. Oh no, this is so tough. I can't do this. I would say it would have to be what is it? What is that song called? Colors by Flo from Code Geass. Yeah. Flo is my favorite band, which I got to see them this year. They're doing a U.S. tour, so yeah.
Have you watched Beastar?
I have not. One of my best friends recommends it to me, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance, especially when I have some time to sit by myself. Because what I'll do is I'll take 3 days away from the world and just binge stuff.
Okay, I feel you on that.
Yeah, so it's like that's definitely on my list. Definitely.
So what's your least favorite anime?
My least favorite anime was called Isekai Cheat Magician. That is the worst show ever created in all of anime dumb. Like it is. So I'm an Isekai guy. I love like when someone goes to another world. This one was, and I don't care what happens. This one was poorly written. It was poorly executed. I felt like, I'm not gonna say I felt like I wasted my life, but when I got to the end, I was just like, you know, you could have deprived me of sleep for 18 days, freaking shot me up with every drug in the world, and concussed me, and I still would have written something better than this. Like, I normally don't say that about anybody else's work. It was so bad. It was so bad. Yeah, no, that's number one on my crap list.
So, since I see you with the Mario hat, what are your favorite Mario games?
Favorite Mario games? So here's the funny thing. I haven't played many. I have not played many. So I watched people play Mario games, especially growing up. Because my brothers, they were big into Mario, them and their friends. And I'm like, so y'all be running the streets, but y'all love y'all some Mario and Sonic. This don't make no sense. But yeah, no, I've only played like what was it, Super Mario? It was an old one. I don't remember, but nope.
All right. Are you a gamer?
I am a gamer. I'm big on like tactical espionage games and anything Assassin's Creed related, fighting games. I'm big Tekken guy, Dead or Alive, Soul Calibur. Yeah, those are my things right there. So, right. And then nowadays, I'm getting more and more into the Yakuza series. Like I ended up playing Judgment, and then now I'm playing Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name. So those are fun. I really like those.
I've seen some gameplay on Like a Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And the the Judgment?
Yeah, Judgment. Yeah. I gotta play Lost Judgment though. Like I played Judgment, and like it took me on such an emotional roller coaster. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to a whole nother deal. I'm good. Like, but I'll get back to Lost Judgment soon. And yeah.
I know it's a little weird question to ask, but Megan Thee Stallion, how do you feel about her? Do you think she's faking it, like an anime, or do you think she's legit?
I don't think she's faking it. What I think is, so I had two theories, right? I think the reason why that's even a question is because she's famous already. It's just like, and I normally don't talk about this man, but it's like the YouTuber that's boxing right now, Jake Paul, right? Like a lot of people are hating on him. Listen, he's not a world champion boxer by any means, but the only reason a lot of people are saying the things that they're saying about him is because he's famous already. They're like, oh, he's fighting people he can beat. Name one boxer you know that hasn't fought anybody he couldn't beat, especially coming up before they were a world champion.
Right.
You can't name one, especially any of them that were undefeated. Here's the truth. In any sport, if you go 30-0, your sport is either not real or you're fighting cans. Like, it's just the truth. You're not fighting killers. So I think with Megan, theory number one is, you know, the reason that's a question is because she's already famous and it's like she's pushing it, which I feel like is a good thing. I feel like it's a good thing. It's highlighting that, hey, listen, people are color into this stuff. Even though you had representation of that before, it's just now it's more of in like the super mainstream, but you're going to have people that are kind of nitpicky on like, okay, well, she made this reference or maybe this, maybe she's really not into this. Maybe somebody told her this. Maybe it's because some of these people have writers. So yeah, it's like, it is what it is. My other theory is like, hey, when it comes to management, trends, and things like that, it's like, what's going to set you apart, right? Like, because if she wasn't doing that, if she wasn't doing some of the other intangibles that were setting her apart, who would she be? She would just be another artist. So I think because like I don't know her and I don't know anybody that knows her, I'm not going to just automatically hammer down and be like, oh, she's faking it. But I do think if you're coming in with as many references and stuff like that as she does, there's some type of interest there. Some type. I'm not saying she's some oh yeah, Stone Cold, like she's gonna show up at BlerdCon right now. Like that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But it's at least some interest. Because the truth of the matter is, there are few people on this planet that can sell something that they just have absolutely no interest in. Few people. Because not everybody's a good actor.
Ooh, right.
That's the truth. Why you think a lot of relationships fail? You did all this dumb stuff in the beginning. Haha, whoop-de-doo. Now you got to keep it going.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if it died down yet, but the Kendrick Lamar and Drake, how you feel about that?
All right, so I jumped on that whole train late, right? Because I was like, there's still rap beefs? Like,
me too.
Like, I was like, wait, who beefing? And then he said, Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, oh man, somebody hard must have came at him. Drake. I'm like,
wait, I was not expecting that.
I literally did the Soldier Boy. I was like, Drake? Like, I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, you telling me, and this is, all right, whatever, take it how you feel. I'm like, you telling me a dude from Toronto came at a dude literally from Compton?
Right.
Like, wait a minute. What are we doing here? Is this a publicity stunt? What's happening? But also, this isn't really the greatest publicity stunt because he has way more ammo on you than you have on him. And historically speaking, let's just be honest here, West Coast rappers be dissing people on a whole nother level. I wouldn't have tried that at all. I would not have tried that at all. So it was what it was. It's like, yo, this guy literally created trends off of making fun of you.
Pretty much.
Why did you poke the bear? It's like those years when somebody would come out every like 3 years and poke the bear at Eminem or something, right? It's just like, what are you doing? Stop, sit down. Sit down.
I would never understand why people do that.
Leave that boy alone. He's 50 and he want to kick his feet up and just wait his turn to the Grim Reaper come. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, the whole Kendrick Drake scenario, I honestly think it's largely like almost all things in the rap game, publicity stunts, right? But I just don't think that was the right way to go.
Right, of all people.
Not. No, that wasn't the right guy. Go with somebody who you either have some type of leverage against or you feel like at worst, this will not be to your true detriment. Like, it might fuck with you a little bit. You might have some people saying some things, but at the end of the day, it still kept your name up. But not kept your name up in a way where everybody's pointing at you laughing. Now it's like, you could either be a good guy, which everybody likes, or you could be the bad guy, which everybody hates. You don't want to be the guy that everybody's laughing at and you're not a comedian. You don't want to be that, because then, like, now you're not going to be taken seriously. That's how I look at it. Like, being the bad guy, it's like the Floyd Mayweather syndrome. Everybody hated him so much that they would still buy his pay-per-views, hoping and praying to God that he would lose. It's like, yeah, because he's on screen going, yeah, I got all this money, woo, woo, woo. But at the end of the day, he's still not in the club drinking. He's in the club because he owns it. He ain't drinking. He's running at 5 a.m. You forgot he's a world champion that can fight. Like, but you either want to be the wrestler terms babyface, or you want to be the heel, that really hot heel. Don't be the guy getting laughed at. Oh man, especially when you have constraints with your label. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's what Drake is. It's like, yo, you're a lot more corporate than this guy. He has a lot more freedom than you. A lot more freedom than you. He's gonna dog you every which way, and you're not gonna like it because some things you're not gonna be able to say. Some things you're not gonna be able to do. So, I just thought it was a bad move.
I really think so too. Of all people.
Yeah.
I don't even think he was bothering nobody. He wasn't even.
Kendrick be in his own world. I remember before he came out at that Super Bowl where it was Dr. Dre and everybody, Kendrick was like MIA for like months. Nobody even knew what that dude was. And
that's right.
You know, he coming out the box. Yeah. I was like, what the heck? What happened? I was like, no, leave the monsters alone. Leave the monsters alone.
So, any hobbies?
Any hobbies?
Yeah.
Well, like I do a lot of things. I love to draw. I love to, even though I get commissioned to do animation. I'll animate stuff just to entertain myself at times. I like building things by hand. I'm getting into carpentry. I want to get into pottery and get back into crocheting. I used to do that a lot as a kid. But yeah. And I'm a martial artist. I've been a martial artist most of my life, but mainly train Muay Thai now. A bit of MMA because a bunch of my friends who compete, they're just like, look, you're the only guy that like, can strike and at least knows a little bit of wrestling that won't hurt me. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're helping someone prepare for a fight, the last thing you want to do is injure them. The last thing you want to do is concuss them. You want to make sure you're pushing them, but they get to where they need to get safely so they can perform at a good level. So martial arts definitely, and hiking. I love nature. I really love nature, man.
Right. I could never. I mean, nature is lovely and all, but hiking, that's scary as heck. To me,
hey, listen, I know, right? Because the moment, what's really funny? Like, I love nature. I love the trees. I love mountains. But let me find out there are bears that are, like, native to those mountains. I ain't going back.
Right.
I'm like, okay, creatures that can kill me. No. I'll get one of them virtual things and just go, yep. Oh, I'm in the woods, baby. But, yeah. That's me.
Any favorite snacks?
Favorite snacks? Oh, man. Oh, man. So I'm a big soft pretzel guy. I don't know why. Like, I was, like, really big on breads as a kid. So, like, when I was younger, you got me, like, a sleeve of crackers, you could have had my heart. You could have said, hey, I like you. Here's these sleeve of crackers. Okay, you're my girlfriend now. And that's it. Like, I was very simple. But yeah, I love pretzels. I like candy to a point, like any type of sour gummies, stuff like that. But I try my best to not, because I have my father's sweet tooth, and once I start, I do not stop. So I try to chill out on that. So I did the practical thing and substituted it with drinking hard liquor. Yes. No, I do. I love making cocktails and stuff. That's another hobby. I'm into mixology and things like that. So, yeah.
Hey, probably could make like a pina colada.
Yeah. Hey, pina coladas are fun. You can mess those up, believe it or not.
Yeah.
You can mess those up, believe it or not, man. But yeah, any cocktail that it just seems interesting to me. It's like I like the science behind it. I like the history of cocktails and everything like that. So. It's good. It's just another opportunity to learn, and there's a million of them. There's always going to be the standards that people ask for. But if someone comes up to me and they're like, hey, man, can you make a Cinderella? I'm like, oh, first of all, that's non-alcoholic. I like you. But you can mess that up, too. It's like, hey, mocktails or something else. Like, yeah. I'm like, you got to do mocktails right. It's like, you can't just put like orange juice and grape juice together and be like, I make mocktails. Okay. No, it's called punch. Stop. Like, oh, man.
So, do you care about shoe brands?
Shoe brands?
Yeah.
I was never the biggest sneakerhead, right?
Oh.
Yeah, growing up, I was never the biggest sneakerhead. To me, it was more like, okay, do they feel good? Do they fit? All right, let's roll. There's some shoes that I'm like, okay, that look good just over the years and whatnot, but I was never really a sneakerhead. My best friends are, though. They're all sneakerheads, car dudes, and I'm just like, all right, does it work? Oh, man. But out of that, I mean, I'm a dress shoe guy.
Actually, those look nice as heck.
Tell you that.
So, for you to be singing, when did you start singing? Or rapping, whatever you want.
Start singing. I mean, I've been singing in choirs since I was a kid. So I guess I say maybe about 11 is when I was singing in choirs. But singing for bands, groups, and stuff like that, probably about 2008 when people found out I could. Because originally I was gonna be a rapper. Because I wanted to be like my older brother so bad, but that wasn't my thing. Like, I can do it, but I'm like, this isn't what I do. I had to find my own thing. So then I started singing a little bit more, and I found my voice specifically in rock, metal, because I'll gallivant, like during a set of mine, even in one song, you will hear me sing to scream to rap and then go back to singing again. So yeah, I like it.
So before a show, what do you do to prep yourself?
Man, so there are times where I will definitely not do any vocal warm-ups and stuff like that, and I will pay for it afterwards by not being able to speak for like the next week. But yeah, no, I'll do a few vocal warm-ups, probably have like of course room temperature water, something like that. And other than that, the things I do to prep myself for shows, I might do a slight exercise. I might like my drummer, he knows how to hold pads for me, so I might do some boxing drills, something like that. Hype myself up, and whether I got to say a prayer, whether I got to cry, something, you know, like if I find out, especially before a show, that there are friends of mine there, loved ones there, and I know I paid the price to put on a good show, I get really, really emotional before them sticks click, and people will see me go through it. Like my one of my really good friends who used to play drums for me, he got so used to it that when other people were performing with me and they would see me backstage just going through the most of the, they'd be like, "What's wrong with him?" And they're freaking out, and he's just like, "Nah, he's all right." Like, but yeah, it's a lot of things. I might not even it might not even be that. Like there are times where I might be doing like a metal show specifically, like where everyone else there is doing like death metal and grrr, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm the lightest group here. But instead of like getting pumped up for that, I might be sitting back listening to classical music or something like that, like some J.S. Bach or something, and just like, all right, put on that piano concerto. Yes. And I'll just be all right. Mm-hmm.
So, any other shows coming up?
Any other shows coming up? I have a show. Oh gosh, I think the 16th. It's in Baltimore. All I know is I agreed. This is going to be so terrible. But no. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna talk about it before the end of this. But I do have other shows coming up. One before the end of this month, and then the rest are in like August, September, stuff like that. So I might do a couple of online shows as well, and we'll see what's going on there. But I play for other people too. So, which reminds me, outside of me performing tomorrow at 5:45, I will be performing with Create Lady J at 8 o'clock. She last minute is performing, phenomenal artist. I play guitar for her every once in a while, but she specifically wanted me on so we could just bounce back and forth and dabble. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna tell you that. So, yeah.
Right. So, how would you feel about getting a record label with a certain company, and who would that be?
A record label? Yes. Oh man, nowadays it would have to be a very, very sweet scenario if I'm going to think about record labels. Because the thing about it is, like, I've been in a couple of bands where there were offers on the table, right? Especially growing up. But if it's one thing I can say that I was very blessed to be around people that were very protective. And I was around people that understood legal writing and things like that. So they would look at these things and they're like, yeah, I don't think this is good, like, for you. As far as, especially like a lot of groups or artists, they'll see record labels come up and they're just like, okay, I'm going to give you all this money up front. They don't think about how they're going to have to pay that back, what the interest is, or anything else on the in-between, especially when it comes to ticket sales. Maybe they got something going on into your merch, 360 deals where, oh yeah, now that you can't pay the money back after that first whatever, now they get a percentage of a whole nother gig you're doing. Like, it might not even be music. You could be freaking mowing lawns, and they'll be like, oh, you got a landscaping company? Okay, let me get a percentage of that because you owe us everything. So it's like, nah, man, I already worried about taxes, which I pay my taxes, but it's like, we already dealing with the IRS. I ain't trying to deal with owing nobody else money. Like, no.
All right.
Nah, but sweet deal, then okay. But until I see that, nah, I'd rather stay independent. Especially nowadays because, you know, what record labels do is they provide you a platform, and then they have a well-oiled machine of like who's gonna promote you, who's gonna talk to the venues, who's gonna talk to the vendors, who's gonna do XYZ. It might take a little bit more legwork, you know, for some people, but for certain people, it's worth it to do that legwork. It is. Like if you want to bet on yourself and go that route, I'm not going to tell you not to. But if you don't understand what's going on, good luck.
Right. So basically, the music group. What is your name of your group again?
The name of my group. Okay, so it's technically a solo project. I have people play for me. I am Aeoxis. I go by Aeoxis. Some people think that, they're like, that's just a cool name you came up with. It sounds like a Pokemon. It sounds like a Greek god, this, that, and the other. Actually, it's an acronym. And Aeoxis stands for, it's something that I used to tell myself at my lowest points in life to keep myself going. So I would look myself in the mirror and say, I am the apex. I stand at the top of all things, whether it is my trials, my demons, anything like that. I'm going to push forward because I'm at the top. I control my destiny, not them.
Right.
I am the evolution. I will constantly evolve. I am the outsider. I am not always going to be the center of attention. I'm not always going to be the guy that's accepted. I am the Zen factor. Zen means other, different, foreign, you know. I'm the different factor. I'm the X factor. Like a lot of the times, people always tell me, like, "Yo, we never thought of this until you did this." But that's anybody, right? I mean, everybody has something that you can bring to a table. So that's something that people can take for themselves. That's the Zen factor. I is for introspection. I believe in being introspective in life. I don't think that a person should be able to go through life and just not check themselves. I think if you believe you're right in all scenarios, I believe if you think that the world revolves around you, you got a long way to go. You are player one in your own story. But in this microcosm of life to the megacosm of the universe, you're just a speck of stardust.
Right.
Relax, okay? And just understand that not everything's going to go your way. And understand that there are other people with that voice in their head that are walking around just like you. I'm the introspection. And the last one is S. I am the soul. Apex evolution outside of Zen factor, introspection soul. So that is Aeoxis.
Wow. Mm-hmm. No way to look at it.
Oh man, you should have heard my mother when I told her that. I'm like, well, mother, you want to know what Aeoxis stands for? Well, yes, son. I thought it was something weird. I didn't know what you were doing in the shadows. In the shadows? She's gonna hate that I said that as she ever sees this. She hates my impression of her.
Most parents do.
But hey, man, like, yeah. Now, it's I probably started telling people what it was because I kept it to myself for about 10 years. Huh. Yeah, so I was like, nah, it's time. It's time. Mm-hmm.
If you could work with a TikToker, who would they be? Who would it be?
You said what?
If you could work with any TikToker, who would it be?
If I could work with any TikToker, who would they be? He's actually going to be DJing the party tonight, Dimitri.
Oh, for real?
DJ Demi, yeah. Like, I run into him at KatsuCon. I actually ran into him once I got here. I was just like, you did the show. He's like, you're performing. I'm like, you know I'm performing? You watch magic? Nah. But no, he's a really cool dude. I would love to collab with him. I just think he's hilarious. And it's just a lot of the things that he does, it's either you can relate to or it's like it was in your head, but you didn't know how to process it to put it out. So, funny guy, party-loving guy, peace-loving guy. Big shout out to you, man. I would love to do work with him.
Anybody else?
Anybody else? Let's see. Probably my Toasty Marshmallow, voice actress, singer extraordinaire. Yeah, she's adorable. And I'm like, dude, let me tell you something. You want to talk about like people that look like kind of younger. First time I ever met her, I thought she was my friend's kid. I did not know she was a grown adult. So I was like, oh, how you doing? Wait, why you got liquor? But just being funny. But no. Amazing singer. I would love to like do like an Inuyasha opening or something with her, a cover like that. Oh my god, that would be freaking awesome. Her and There was one more person on my head. I would say Jay Diggs, who is a amazing composer, but that is also my best friend who just got married. I was his best man. So we would collab anyway. We do stuff anyway. But who else? Who else? Oh my goodness. You know me, I'm just silly.
I see.
But dang, not off the top of my head. Oh no, I'm being a jerk. And but it's because there are so many creators, right?
Yeah.
And every single creator that I follow is because they inspire me in some way. So it's all of them. All of them. Definitely. Trying to find the show. When is the date? Oh God.
So, any candy that you dislike?
Candy that I dislike, licorice.
Like black licorice or all together?
Black licorice. Just black licorice.
Okay, yeah, that's the worst candy
Cannot
ever.
do it. Cannot do it. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. And the funny thing is like I use licorice to stay awake if I'm driving long distances and I'm getting sleepy.
Oh my God.
Because it just tastes that bad to me. It's just you know, like
I mean, it does taste like medicine, so.
yeah. Oh no. Have you ever had juniper tar?
No.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So it's like an old like remedy that old folks, especially like down south cats, used to use. So juniper tar, what they would do is they'll take a spoonful of sugar, put 1 to 2 drops of juniper tar on the sugar. It would turn the whole spoon black.
Oh my God.
And now you got to eat it. And it's like, I don't think I need that. And I had that once as a kid, and I'm like, you know what? I think it successfully scared the sick out of me. Like, my mother would bring out that stuff. I'm like, Mom, I ain't sick no more. I promise you. I ain't sick no more. I promise you. Like, but yeah, no, licorice, not my favorite deal. And only because it's a texture thing for me, even though I kind of like the taste, but it's a texture thing for me. Anything with coconut. But that's just something that ever since I was young to now it's a little bit better. But when I was young, I used to gag immediately. And I thought it was I was allergic or something, but that's not the case at all. It just, that's how it affects me. Mm-hmm.
How you feel about 50-50?
50-50, oh goodness. I think if you are a 50-50 person, find a 50-50 person. I was raised to be very independent. So having a partner that, let's say, we live together or we're moving through life together, right? I'm going to make sure everything's right. Like, hey, listen, at the end of the day, like, if something happens with you, I got it. That's just what it is. Because I'm not really a person that can just sit down and just be down. So I think if you want to look at it from an economic standpoint and you want to do the statistics like on all the freaking toxic podcasts where you got men coming out saying like, oh yeah, I'm going to be 50-50 because these women just want a sponsor. Like, yo, bro, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. That's cool. But talk to somebody that's willing to work with you. Don't shame nobody who maybe is a traditionalist or maybe that's just what they were raised to look at, right? Or maybe that's just the life they want to live. Maybe they want to take care of the house. Maybe they want to sponsor. You never freaking know, but this is why you got to have conversations when you're dating. This is why you have to act like effectively communicate. The amount of people I know that get in relationships and they have no idea who they're with is ridiculous. Right. So all of this fear mongering, all the bull crap that comes with the dating world that's going viral right now and the toxic nonsense, shut up. Shut up, especially you alpha males. First of all, you understand that the term alpha male was almost taken back by the scientists that coined it, right? Because alpha males only exist in captivity, which is why people in jail act the way they act. So unless you're incarcerated, let's stop talking this nonsense. Sorry, I will go on I will get stupid on that. But yeah, the whole 50-50 thing. If you have an idea about how you want your relationship to go, effectively communicate that with people. Understand that there are billions of people on this planet. There are some people that will have a disagreement with one person or two people or three. Let me ask you a question. How many people do you feel like you've met in your lifetime that you actually spoke to?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to give me an exact number. Let's say it's in the hundreds or even thousands. Do you feel like it's in the thousands? That even to the high. If it's not even that, okay, cool. The same thing applies to so many people out here that say, oh, all men ain't crap, or all women ain't crap. Let's say, oh, yeah, maybe you got cheated on once. Okay, that might not even have had anything to do with you.
Right.
Or maybe it did. Maybe you suck. You didn't get it together. But here's the truth. That's one person. I've had one toxic relationship my entire life where it was low key. It wasn't low key abusive. All my friends saw it. It was very abusive. I went through a lot of things. But when I talk to people that are on the extremes, saying that all women aren't crap because of one or two experiences, I'm like, hey, get this. I had one bad experience. Guess who didn't do any of those things that happened to me? Any other woman I dated? None of them did that. Why? One, I understood the red flags.
Right.
Two, I'm just like, well, there's certain things I'm not going to tolerate. Three, it's like, why even waste your energy on this? People like to chase either what they can't have, or they like to chase something that they feel is going to give them some odd validation. Everybody wants a story. If you want a story, make a story that you can live with in a way that empowers you, in a way that blesses you, in a way that makes you want to get up and move. Don't, excuse me, stop putting your energy into these things. I should got water.
Right. It is.
Hydrate, people.
Right.
But stop putting your energy into these things that are only going to take from you.
What?
I'm only acting like I'm dying. You must find your center.
Right.
But yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny how we went from 50-50 to me just kind of going in.
Oh, by all means, express yourself.
But yeah. Nah. It's just weird. It's like, hey, listen, especially, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about 50-50. For the men who feel like they're being attacked when they come across someone that they're attracted to, and that person doesn't believe in what you want to do, right? Or what you believe in. Understand this, and I'm going to say this here. I said it on my podcast. I say it at my shows. I'm at BlerdCon. God dang it, 2024. Rejection is confirmation. All that tells you is this door is closed. Let me move to the next one.
Right.
That's it. This person, you don't got to damn them. You don't got to believe they're the worst person in the world just because they didn't want to give you the time of day or they disagreed with you. Are they actively up? It's like people look at someone who doesn't desire them the way that they desire them, even though they have specific requirements. They look at that person all of a sudden as an op. I think people forgot what an enemy is. An enemy isn't a person that simply disagrees with you. An enemy is a person that wants to destroy you. An enemy is a person that is thinking about how they're going to tear you down every waking moment. If that is not what that person is doing, that is not your op. That is not your opposer. That is not the devil incarnate. Relax. Relax. Just move on. It's that simple. The percentage of people, I have met a lot of people because of playing music. Well, I've talked to a lot of people, whether from the dating aspect, friendship aspect, or whatever. I still cannot say that even with my following online, that has grown in a way that I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. I cannot say that even, let's say that all of my followers, hundreds of thousands of followers on each and every social media platform I'm on. Let's say I put all of them together. I put them all in a room, right?
Right.
And let me say, oh, they're all my friends. Guess what? That still doesn't make up 1% of the world.
You're right.
It doesn't. So for anyone to say that anybody is bad, they're ignorant and they're hurt. It's terrible. I'm about done with this interview. Let me call you right back. I'm not almost done. I'm done when she say I'm done.
All right.
But yeah.
So how you feel about women choosing the bear?
You said what?
The women choosing the bear.
Women choosing the bear. Oh man. You know, I didn't even know what that was until like, 3 months ago? I was like, what the heck is this bear nonsense? Because I started thinking about that old mystical rap, help the bear. Like, I was like, choosing the bear. I was like, well, let's look at it like this. Let's look at it from an extreme perspective, right? From the extreme perspectives of life, a lot of heinous things have been done by men. So you have a lot of people who are either hurt, in fear, traumatized, both, all three. Like, just understand that these people have reasons, okay? Now, I get it, especially online, because a lot of people are behind keyboards, this, that, and the other. We have some provocateurs that like fueling fires, right? But that's on both sides. But if this is even a conversation, there's validity there. Something is wrong. So, and once again, I'm going to speak to men. If you have a problem with women choosing the bear, oh my God, they're choosing the bear. If you can internalize that the reasons why they're choosing the bear aren't things that you align with, if you can internalize that, it wouldn't even hurt your feelings. It wouldn't even hurt your feelings. It wouldn't. Oh, dang, that's crazy. I'm sorry all that crazy stuff happened to you or to people that you know, maybe to your parents, and you have a terrible representation of who men are, and that's why you're choosing the bear. But it is what it is. Once again, billions of people on this planet, go find somebody that's going to choose you.
Right.
It's that simple. No. Like, choose the bear. I choose solitude half the time. Yeah, I understand. I barely like people. The fact that, like, you know, I'm here, I'm embracing people here because I feel like I'm at home, right?
Right.
Like, everyone who is into things that I'm into, it's cool, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, I'm still an introvert. At the end of the day, I'm still like, well, I could be in a relationship or I could just be by myself. I literally have a 3-story house with 5 bedrooms. And I have a renter in it right now. But when she move out,
right,
I'm going to be by myself. I don't get lonely. I think people need to find out how to be alone. That's number one. Find themselves, too. Figure out what you actually want. And then go out here and play the field. Stop being so mad. Oh, I lost the game. You didn't lose anything. This just wasn't the avenue you're supposed to go down. Okay? You got the wrong answer. Did somebody put a piece to your head and blow your head off now that this didn't go right? No. Are you eternally damned? No. Are the heavens laughing at you? Maybe. I don't know. But relax. Life is hard enough. Life is hard enough. Don't go out here making it harder. Just because something ain't go your way. What are you, 12? It's just the truth. What are you, 12? I didn't get sprinkles on my ice cream cone. That's all I hear when I hear someone that is just like, oh, this girl ain't like me. This girl ain't like you.
Yeah.
Okay. So did she punch your cat? Did she tell your mama she can't cook? Did she, what happened? Like, tell me something here that actually makes me think that this person did something to you. Outside of saying, no, I'm not interested. Now, if they said, oh, I ain't interested. Oh, you ugly. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe this dude. Turn on their phone. Look at him. Oh, my God. Like, first of all, how many times does that actually happen? Not often. Not often. And if it does, here's the truth. Why ain't you freaking on your toes enough to be like, all right, and just play the game? Now, you could just walk away, too. Because if somebody is actually actively doing that and they're trying to embarrass you even though you were vulnerable, that's their problem. That's not you. It's like, okay, you're mature. I'm going to go over here. It's not that I hope you get hit by a bus, but if I saw it happen, I'm probably going to wait 3 seconds before I call the ambulance. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm so sorry. Oh, my God.
So how you feel about men's mental health wellness?
How about what?
Men with mental healthness.
Mental health. So here's the thing. One of the things that actually helped grow my page the most is when I would make content about mental health and about I called it the Men's Progression Series. It would basically be me talking to, another version of myself, I guess. Speaking on like what's like kind of the healthy way to go about things and what's the not healthy way to go about things. Like, hey man, like you gotta be introspective and you gotta understand that not everything's gonna go your way. You gotta understand that like there are trials you're gonna face. Some things are gonna hurt, and that's okay, right? Like, don't try to make everyone an enemy, whatever. And then the other guy that's actually on the bad side is sitting here like, yeah, I will totally disregard all of that. I will, hold on to all the troubles that I have and make it everyone else's fault, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of it, I normally scream an expletive at the guy like, okay, I'm giving him solid advice, but now he's acting like a kid. I'm gonna be a jerk. But yeah, no, men's mental health, it's important because it's something that's more highlighted now, but for years it wasn't. And for many reasons, right? For many reasons. Like if you want to think about just the state of this country, they weren't thinking about men's mental health because a lot of the time we were at war. That's number one. And then you have the racial tension. So now you got, especially with people of color, you got people that are going through things, and not only do they potentially got to fight a war for a country that don't give a crap about them, but they can't express themselves because they have to put themselves in a box where it's like, hey, it's best for me to not be seen because if I'm seen, something might happen to me. Or if I'm seen the wrong way, something might happen to me. Something might go wrong in my house. Something might go wrong outside. Like, so it's just generational trauma, things like that. I think it's very important. And I also think it's one of the things that will definitely help with the whole bear scenario. Because there's the truth of the matter. And I openly admit this, the relationship that I had after my most traumatic relationship, I can honestly say it was my fault that ended. Like, granted, the person that I was with was responding to me in a way that they had their own issues, right? But I, because of what I went through, could not, I didn't have the wherewithal to understand, like, okay, this person's going through it. And that's why they're responding to me, even though I think I'm communicating clearly. They might be asking me the same question over and over again, but it's not the same way as it was when I was being antagonized. This person isn't used to someone actually being straight up with them. Like, and I'm thinking, oh, you just don't believe me. Like, even though I was projected on for years. Like, so I'm thinking like, okay, this is the same thing. So now I'm just going to disassociate. Now I'm not going to talk about my feelings. Now I'm going to live how I'm going to live, and you're going to have to accept how it is, because if you make up anything, now we got an argument. That's not the right way to go. It was never the right way to go. And like literally when that ended, I was like, okay, no, you got some problems, kid. You got some problems. And like,
I mean, we all do.
No. Like, it definitely is time for you. Because I went to therapy as a kid. I had a very, very big anger issue. But my anger issue came from the simple fact that I felt like I wasn't being heard. And it was just one of those things where I'm like, okay, like amongst my own community, it's like they were very nurturing, men and the women around me. So they would always listen. They would always understand. But when I was in situations where somebody wouldn't, or maybe they might have had a bad day or something was going on their end, I didn't understand that. I thought there was a common decency factor or something, right? And then it's like, wait, you're not hearing me, or you're acting this way, and now I don't feel like talking anymore. And when I tried to speak, you didn't listen. So now I got to throw a desk across the room. Like, yeah, whatever. So it was nuts. But therapy as a kid, that opened up a lot for me, which is why when that last relationship of mine ended, that's why I went like, you know what? It made it a lot easier for me to go back. A lot of men don't think therapy is a good thing. It's like,
I don't understand if you want somebody to hear you out.
It's crazy. It's just like, man, if I go to therapy, that means something's wrong with me. That means I'm weak. That means I'm this. First of all, let me tell you something. I ain't never met anybody that laughed at me for going to therapy. First of all, I don't have any friends that laugh at me for going to therapy. If they laugh at me, they're not my friend. But I've never met a person that looked at me funny for going to therapy that could beat me in a fight. Never have. If you out there, hey, I'm not advocating for violence. I'm not. But no, never met one. No. But no, it's definitely necessary. And that's where the introspection comes in. Like, I spent a lot of time alone after that relationship. Like, just like, okay, no, this is what happened. And like, there was a lot of apologies coming from me. Like, even with that person who, for a while, when we actually had our come to Jesus moment, they were under the impression, like, they expressed themselves to me and they were under the impression that I had a certain view about them that I did not have, which is why they were responding to me a certain way, which triggered my triggers, right? And I was like, oh no, that is not what I thought at all. But once I got to a certain point, I was just on a whole nother trail. And you don't want to get there. You never want to get there. Because you can either ruin a good thing. I do things end for a reason. Like sometimes some relationships are a lesson. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
That person and I are better as friends anyway. And we're good now. Love you to death. But yeah, no, mental health, it's real. It's real. Please, if you think you have an issue, speak up. Go to therapy, speak to a friend. If you don't think you can speak to your friends, they ain't your friends.
I've been saying that for years. Like, it's nothing wrong. You can talk to somebody. You won't have to worry about them running to tell somebody else. Just stay in your own comfort.
See, here's the thing. I tell people that growing up, the hardest men I knew, literally the gangsters I knew, the ne'er-do-wells, the most alpha male, I don't call them alpha males. I'm like, these are apex males. These guys are just strong, just well-to-do guys. All of these guys, none of them ever told me not to cry. None of them. None of them. They were like, listen, you got to express yourself. You don't got to stay in the mud for too long. Like, at some point, you got to pick yourself up. Or like, hey, there might be some things that happen that are outside of your control that'll make you feel like all hope is lost. You might have to lean on somebody. Make sure you have somebody around you that you can do that with.
Right.
That you will do the same for them. But if you gotta cry, cry. If you gotta scream, scream. Don't go punching nobody.
Right.
But you know, express yourself. Speak up. Talk. If something's ailing you, it is what it is. If you feel like you can't talk to your girl, which is another thing people like to talk about, I can't make my woman my confidant. She'll use it against me. You sure that's your girl?
Right. If she doing that, she ain't the one.
You sure that's your girl? Is that your op? Because I don't have any of those women in my life. None of them. None of them. From people that I had flings with, the people that I was taking serious. None of them. None of them.
That's good.
Except for that one person that, you know, was doing all that nonsense. But no. It comes down to the people you have in your life. If you have a partner that is using your vulnerabilities against you, that is not your partner. That is an emotional manipulator, and that, once again, might not have nothing to do with you. Get on out of there. Get on out of there. It is what it is.
So, my next question is, how do you feel about men that gets abused?
Men that get abused?
Yes.
I think they don't speak up enough. I think what happens is they find themselves in a position where it's like, dang, man, I can't, if I talk about this, how am I going to look? Stop worrying about how you look.
You're right.
Stop worrying about how you look. It's abuse is abuse, no matter what form it takes, no matter what form it comes from. It is what it is. You don't have to take it. You can leave. Like, that was my whole thing. It's like, well, one, I'm looking on a return on my investment. Two, I can take it. I can deal with it. I don't care if you even know why they're acting that way. You might know their family is crap. You might know that they come from trauma. Here's the truth. If their trauma is screwing you over left and right, let them go deal with that.
Right.
Maybe you can come back around. Maybe. But let them go deal with that. If that is not your calling to heal people, which most people can't, it's just the truth, you might not even know the ins and outs. Some of these battles are not yours. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I just think they don't speak up. I think they don't speak up till it's too late. And that's why you see, like, very, very heinous acts being done.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Or
you see men who have the podcast now, talking about how all women ain't nothing. Oh, really? All of them. Oh, really? Feliciana did you wrong one time. Clarabelle did you wrong one time. And now you're over here, everybody wrong. Oh, you don't like your mama? I'm just saying. Well, what's up? All women bad? Okay, that's cool. But then why are you still messing with them?
Right.
That's one thing I've never really heard. It's a good amount of men who have all the complaints about women in the world, but you still want to stick your thingy in the thingy. Really? Okay. Yeah, cool. That don't make no sense to me. If I don't want something, I don't want nothing to do with it. But yeah, definitely speak up. And it happens. It's real. How long is this live?
Right.
Mm-mm. Oh man.
You done?
I'll
let you go.
You say what?
I'll let you go.
Okay. I guess you said you let me go?
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been great. I'm Savon Anthony. You can find me on any platform, Aeoxis, Aeoxis. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for doing
nice
this.
meeting you.
No, it was great meeting you as well, especially in person. So this is cool. This is great. You enjoying Blerd?
Lovely. It's lovely.
Good.
Have a good night.
Hell, I want to hear about this, homie.
I said forget about it, cuz. Well, you know, y'all gonna learn Chinese. I'm gonna speak Chinese.
Stop it right now, Chris. That man's rap career has nothing to do with this movie.
We'll get into that.
Tyrese, to his credit, he's a good looking dude.
Decent career.
He's a serviceable actor.
Please! No!
What was he grabbing at? Is all
Here's
I
my
ask.
thing.
What was he grabbing at? Is all I want to know.
No. He shows his range. No, he showed his range. I mean, even in times of him being very, very vulnerable.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
Here's the crazy part, though. Like,
how big do you think you have to be of an actor where a movie that did stupid well for you to turn around and say, hey, you can keep your 25 million. I don't want to come back for this. That's how much Vin Diesel turned down $25 million to be in this movie.
Vin said, I'm bigger than the Fast series after one movie.
Dave Chappelle going to Africa.
Right?
Now, here's the thing. When we break down the movies that Vin did before he came back for that cameo appearance in Tokyo Drift, like Triple X was a hit. It made money. To his credit, you know,
and then waited a whole decade to make another sequel, which that was a good move.
Hey, Ice Cube, take the third one. Take the second one, my bad. And then like he did A Man Apart, which I actually did enjoy. I like
I will say this.
It's very revenge based in the way that you've seen before, but it just works.
I will say this. Man Apart worked for that time in the 2000s. I don't think it aged well. It's one of those movies where if you gave it a 7, your relook is like, man, that's about a 5.
Also,
it's just about a 5.
This is a movie where in Knock Around Guys, Vin was Italian. Man Apart, Hispanic.
Fuck you, he wasn't Hispanic. He was black Hispanic. So
black Hispanic, Latino X.
Range.
No, don't do that.
No, he was not Latinx. He is not
Latinx to me is
Afro Latino.
He was like, look. He was a dom. He was a Dominic. He was a dom in that one too.
Also, shout out to Lorenz Tate having Superhead as his wife in that movie too. So you know,
who knew that Corinne
Steffens.
Corinne Steffens said, "I do it long enough for them to."
It's like, all right, Corinne, you can't suck. Hey, what are you doing, Corinne? You're not sucking dick in this movie.
Hey, Vin, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up forever, because sir, you were the producer and you were the main character. Shut up.
But I didn't make the character. Haha! It came off of this comic from
were the producer, sir.
Hey,
meaning you have full control of everything outside of the director, but you have full control.
But that was
you could have changed shit up if you wanted to,
Aaron,
which means you co-signed on the eyes.
No. Don't
at me.
No, because the eyes was already in the comic. This comic that's on Marvel comic is this.
So the fact that Vin,
look, Chris, variant.
Alternate ending of Fast and Furious 1.
Don't count that's Earth 2, Fast and Furious. That's it.
It's not Earth 2, nigga.
That
It's
is
left on the cutting room floor.
Cutting room
okay?
floor
It's-
don't
never
count.
happened.
Don't Zack Snyder this, all right? Don't do
Yeah,
that.
Eris,
Don't
that
do that.
never happened. That's the
Hey.
that's the Barnstein. That's the is the Berenstein Bears. Whatever. That's the
Berenstein
man.
Bears.
This Mandela effect bullshit that never happened. Hold
Nah,
on.
but-
Speaking of which, do you know I had
Nigga,
two
if it was filmed, it means it exists.
Eric,
And it
Eric, do you know I had two grown ass people walk to me in my face to a film critic, a person that is part of the AAFCA,
Africa.
that they walked up to me and said, "Yeah, Sinbad was in a movie and he was a genie. I need you niggas to stop making up crap. I'm
Stop
tired
making
of
up
it."
stuff on Elon Musk internet, all right? Jesus.
Thank you for that, Chris. I actually,
Hey, look,
approved of that
nigga,
with
hey,
Elon
look.
Musk internet.
Hey, look, Chris. You can get mad all you want, okay? The nigga bought it. We just live here.
So
Learn
I'm not talking about learn Chinese, Eric. You remember that Just Blaze beat he had?
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
Blaze?
God.
Which Just
I
Blaze
don't,
beat?
Chris,
God.
it's Jen, and that album is 20 years old. Stop.
I didn't
don't
buy
know
it,
his
so
name.
you know. It was... Shit with double lavender.
That joke was straight up. That shit was straight up bark. Okay,
Redwood.
Joe, and I hated it how everybody talked all this shit about him going over. Like, yeah, man, he went to Asia, he blew up. No, he didn't. Stop that lying. Stop
Actually, yeah, he did.
that lying.
He
didn't blow up.
just crossed gold recently with one song.
But still,
Just did.
I mean, I get it, Chris. He had a Joe Budden pump it up where it took him this long.
He wishes he had a Joe Budden pump it up.
No. I'm talking about it took that long for it, 20 years for it to go platinum. Is what I'm saying.
You know, here's the thing. I find it even more funny though, because of his grand opening, grand closing, his debut album was called "The Rest Is History." Fitting.
That being said, I blame people like Eris.
What did I do?
I blame DJ Sue greatly for this because DJ Sue was the main one. Oh shit! You see that nigga going against Hassan?
I liked him as a freestylist.
You were on the surfboard. You were on the surfboard.
Follow me. Here's the thing, Eric. You got to own that, just like I got to own the Teriyaki Boys.
You got that, Chris. No.
D, I got this.
Eris was not as bad as you, Chris.
No, D, I got this. First of all, Chris, let's be real. Teriyaki Boys got a resurgence at like when it comes to certain DJs and at certain venues that drop that song, a remix version of it, some kind of crazy ass mashup. People fucking love Teriyaki Boys, so you're fine.
He's kind of right. I can't believe it. The Teriyaki Boys, who were, in my opinion, way more gimmicky than Jen could ever be.
But here's the thing, too.
Not even in they sleep outsold him.
What Universal did was they gave us a twofer. See, they use the power of the Infinity Stones to Thanos snap Ja Rule out of the existence of this Fast and Furious universe, and somehow we gained both Jen and Ludacris.
and nothing of value was lost.
Nothing was lost.
And to this day, Ja Rule still feeling mad salty about
that. Hold on now. We still got the Hail Mary. He might pop up in Fast 11. I don't know.
He's not showing up. We will never see Edwin again.
Hey, no. I need Jason Joker Momoa to pull out Edwin like Edwin's
Chris,
back.
I'm gonna need
revenge time, baby.
Chris, I need you to chill. See, the reason why I need you to chill is because you have a much higher chance of seeing the return of both Hector and Leon and the ghost of Jessi.
I don't know. I have a better shot. You know what? I have a better shot of DK coming back. You're right. So
you got a better chance.
Yes.
No.
DK.
You got a better chance of Monica showing up than Ja Rule right now.
Actual Monica. Like, what has she been doing this fast?
He also said the ghost of Jessi. I hate you. But nah.
This serious. Neville was never coming back to this franchise.
Hey, if you pass up at Fast 11, you owe me a Coke. Devin Aoki. This is during this period of time in the early 2000s. She was in a lot of stuff. It was like they were trying to really make fetch happen with her in some way, shape, or form.
I mean she was.
This movie did kind of blow her up in a little bit of popularity. Never mind the fact that she's the sister of one Steve Aoki.
That helped. And also, the one thing I never liked about Devin, and it's just straight up, I didn't think she was a very good actor, and everybody agrees with me.
Gotta be honest with you.
What's even more interesting though is that I get what got her in the door, but it's like you're built like a minute, so you have to act like you have to act. You have to actually act.
Jamie Chung has the career that Devin Aoki was supposed to have.
I agree. I agree.
No. I mean, partially I agree, but real talk. What happened was, I'm sorry, they said, "Oh my goodness, Devin, you are stunning. Could you tap Maggie Q behind you and tell her to come here?" What came out right before this whole thing went out, Ja Rule was dealing with the hit song that we all still sing to this day, Thug Lovin', and he was on top of the world, and he was, and he had another song, and he had another album coming out called Blood in My Eye with the hit song Clap Back.
Now,
Let's take it to war. Chris, I actually appreciate
A lot of energy on that one.
All right, folks. So, today's stream went very successfully. A little bit of hit spots here and there, but we'll be back tomorrow, bright and early, 10 a.m. And thanks for joining the Blerd Station stream for day 1 of BlerdCon. So we will catch you guys later. Peace.